What's the future of higher education in Pennsylvania? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me this hour is Steve Hicks. He is president of the Association of Pennsylvania State College and University Faculties. Thanks for being with us.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about your organization, because you represent coaches and faculty members from a wide variety of colleges and universities.
Right. We represent 6,000 faculty and coaches at the 14 state-owned universities, from Cheney in the southeast to Edinburgh in the northwest. A wide range geographically, and mostly we're in small, rural kind of communities across the state.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the economic impact that you're facing at this point in these different colleges and universities because of challenging times for students and faculty, and because of budget cuts. What are you seeing on campuses? What are students experiencing?
Well, I think the big concern, particularly since Governor Corbett's budget proposal in March, is a lot of students are worried about whether they can afford to come back to school. A lot of them already have part-time jobs. The average student at our university carries about $25,000 of debt when they graduate, and we're the least expensive option of four-year universities in the state. So that's a pretty heavy load. So any addition to tuition in the coming year potentially will drive some of them away from campus and away from earning their degree.
And what does that mean long-term for the health and vitality on campus?
It's an interesting question, because obviously it's going to change how we work in the next few years. I think one of the things is we've already as a system looked at programs and talked about eliminating programs, and I think you're going to see more talk along those lines. So students are going to have less options as they go to their local regional university. And as I said, it's the low-cost option. Most of our students are first-generation college students. So, it's the first chance to move on to a different kind of class and, live the American dream, do better than their parents. And they're going to have fewer options as they go to the nearby school.
Moving beyond Pennsylvania's borders, let's talk about something that's happening in more than 25 states across the country. It's called the Campaign for the Future of Higher Education. What will higher education look like in the future, and what does this campaign include?
Well, the campaign is worried that faculty haven't had a lot of voice in these discussions about what the future looks like. And one of the problems has been the disinvestment in higher education across the country. You see it here in Pennsylvania. It used to be that in Pennsylvania the state gave 2/3 of the budget to the university system. Now we're probably this year we'll be down somewhere between 25 and 30%. So we're relying a lot more on tuition. We're also trying to create efficiencies, and some of those may not be all that efficient. Class size has grown. We depend more on distance education. As I said, we're eliminating programs. We don't think any of those things are positive in and of themselves. So I think the big thing is we'd like to invest more in higher education in the Commonwealth and across the country.
And I want to quickly get to the concept of actually generating more degrees, having more Americans having a four-year degree. Is that something that you're working toward? Well,
yes. I think one of the things that we're very big on is access for everyone. That the demographics of this country are changing, and we need to make sure that everybody has the opportunity that generations before have had. The tricky part is you can't do it cheaply. You've got to invest in it. And, we haven't invested a lot in bricks and mortars and growth in public sector and higher education in this country in the last generation, essentially.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Sure, thank you.
We've been talking with Steve Hicks, the president of the Association of Pennsylvania State College and University Faculties. I'm Jill Horner.